She's in touch with her future self.
Exactly. Dat is wat on it.
I was chased by a dog. This hasn't happened to me ever before, but there was an underpass. There was an underpass next to a big like scrapyard or something, and they had these a huge cactus full of fruits, and two of these fruits at the very top were ripe. So I wanted to go and harvest them somehow. But
probably dog was just kind of guarding it.
He was A, scared, and B, guarding his property. So I heard a dog bark and turn around, and he's about like knee high, white, fluffy, and super angry, barking at me. And I was thinking, okay. Yeah, he looked like he could be nice. I think he was scared by the motorcycle attire. So
usually you don't bite what you are scared of.
As we know from British driving lessons, when you see a wild animal, you level danger as much as you can.
So what I did was I abandoned my plan of harvesting food and walked. So I walked towards the bike basically. It was 5 meters maximum, and I feel the stalk nipping at my heel, and I thought, okay, so this is getting more serious. So I shouted at the dog.
Enjoy.
Probably. I don't
so
remember.
what we heard on the intercom was Julia saying, "I'm being chased by a dog. What the fuck?"
I get to the bike, and the dog is very, very pounce ready. I start the bike first gear. I mean, as much throttle as there is, and this dog is a meter behind me, barking and running next to me around the corner. I'm kind of like, what is he doing? What is he doing? He came up at some point. I was very lucky. I escaped the vicious dog.
Front, Rita in the middle, me in the back.
Yeah.
And there was a street light, which had an incredibly long yellow face. And there was some confusion over if we keep driving or if we stop.
Yeah, and I think I kind of experienced it firsthand.
We came to different conclusions. Mike stopped, and we wanted to accelerate.
Yeah, and
because we thought he wouldn't stop anymore.
Exactly.
So
what I remember from my point of view was like I stopped, and then a second later I feel the kick in my back and just went down.
What I remember from my point of view, that I saw you go in, then I see a red signal, that's fine, and then I look at you at the stop line, and finally I see stopping light, and I'm trying to brake as hard as I can, but it was too close.
So I was personally convinced that the white car, because there was a white car behind us, which I specifically remember.
Yeah.
I was convinced that the white car just knocked me off, and then I realized it's over just on the front and the white car. Anyway, so point being, we crashed
from
altogether.
my point of view, I didn't know if Mike was going to stop, didn't know if Rita was going to stop, and then Mike stopped, and I was thinking beforehand, should I ask if we're going to stop at this long yellow light? Because it was awfully long and yellow.
It was too fast.
And
it was really long. It was
just
like half a minute long.
Yeah, so
it's like this. No, in Italy, yellow lights are really long.
There was. Well, you two hit each other and kind of spun, right?
I didn't actually go to the side.
Well, I mean, you met at the back, right?
And then
and you were pushed a bit to the left, Rita to the right.
Yeah.
And I was doing a full stop, but lack of
emergency
ABS
stop
means I was nearly standing when I reached you guys.
So
then I tipped over.
So you locked your front wheel essentially.
I locked my front wheel.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and I think I hit your bike a bit with the rest
That's
energy and went over it.
I mean, there wasn't much energy left. So
I was shitlessly scared because neither of you moved much.
I was trapped under the bike. Like up until someone came and lifted the bike, my foot was just under the bike.
I know, but
Same
there was
thing.
no
It
movement.
was-
You started
it was
moving your
same
arms,
thing.
but
Yeah.
Rita didn't at all. That's why I
I
went for
see.
Rita first.
Yeah.
You have an
What
experience.
happened was we got off the road, we got the bikes off the road, but then we were stuck. And the obvious
Yeah.
solution was to try and call the police, because they usually know what to do. Trying to talk to the police was difficult because they had to bring in the interpreter first, and the
On,
interpreter
on the phone.
on the phone,
On the phone,
and
goes.
the interpreter couldn't actually
Interpret.
speak much English, to my understanding. Well, maybe she could, but the Italian person just kept on talking. I mean, it was absolutely impossible to figure out which part was Italian, which part was English, and that got me really scared. Like, what if something would have happened to one of us?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. So, on the basis of we crashed, we actually crashed in a good place because we crashed like 20 kilometers, 12 kilometers off home. We did the typical 90 on a 50
Mike
road
was
in.
very adamant about the speed limit. this time.
Was like 50, 90 is okay. 20, 90 is okay. Anyway, see, this is fine. And so I don't know how.
Meantime, I was in these.
Actually, yeah, we haven't heard that story yet.
Yeah, they were mostly talking to each other, but they were interested. They tried to talk to me, but they don't speak English at all. I don't speak Italian at all. But it was nice when they asked me something like where I'm from, as I thought, and that I said Russia. No, don't understand. Russia? No, don't understand. Putin. Russia. That
No one here drives in gear.
No.
Once in a while you see someone with a jacket like that, because I mean, it's just so warm.
we had that comment from the Harley today, right? Are you Americans?
Yeah, because no one looks like that. And I mean, sure, so we saw at least 3 crashes involving scooters today.
Well,
Just
one serious one.
one-
Like there was a guy with a missing helmet, kind of thing.
Yeah, the scooter was just taken apart on the way from. So I mean, it's not funny here.
So we went to Hardy. They were searching for the broken turning signal. They
which
did.
damaged a lot my bike.
So
by the
the
way.
bolt on that thing is like construction strength foundations bolt.
Also,
So
that's the heaviest tuning light I could imagine.
it is, yeah. But so we went there and they were like, well, we don't have the correct color because they come in black or chrome. They didn't have the chrome, mine is chrome. The one that they had was black and it's like 250 euro. And I was like, I'm not gonna pay 250 euro for the light that I'm gonna replace anyway. So I'm just gonna like solder my old one back home and hope for the best. And the good thing is they tinted my foot back, which is perfectly okay now. So we came back. Then essentially Julius, I found a service for bikes in general, which we didn't use at the end of the day, but they spoke with me and it was okay. And then I came back and I was like, okay, so I opened the gearbox of the Triumph, and if I can make it work, we make it work. If not, we go to the service. I did not manage to make it work, but I did manage to put it in second gear, which means it's drivable.
Although, knowing what we know now, we're quite lucky that the parts that broke off inside didn't get into the gears, because that would have been fatal.
Yeah, that's true. But because it was drivable, we actually found the proper Triumph place. And well, Julius was, because the Triumph at the moment has issues, like the indicators are not working at all, which we know the answer to now, because apparently the one indicator breaks the whole circuit and all that. But we brought it there and left it, and they said they'll check it, which later on evolved.
First of all, the guy was met a very reasonable boss.
Yeah.
And somehow we managed to find the right person directly. And he got three of us mechanics. That was really, really lucky.
Obviously speaking English.
Yeah, so he was the guy that spoke English. Maybe that's the reason.
I think he was the owner of the thing, yeah.
So he got three of his mechanics, and within the first 5 minutes, he had pointed out 4 more things that we didn't see, which were very
some of them very bad. Like there was a piece of metal sticking onto the front wire, like
front wire.
And
what we didn't notice is that the whole thing that holds the headlight doesn't look like this anymore, but more like this.
No, that we did notice, but that's not a terminal issue. Right?
That's not a terminal issue, but I mean, yeah. And what was the gears? Oh, and
the gears and the exhaust.
Bent exhaust with the reduced diameter means that if you drive for longer distances of motorway, you can just overheat the cylinder and kill the engine. So, yeah.
And then they said they'll essentially check the bike right away, which was super lucky, because usually if you go to a workshop that is not the case. He was like, well,
you realised we were on a tour and he asked us what's our time frame. And we said, well, we have a ferry in 2 days. And he's like, well, let's see if we can do that.
Yeah. And then we're going to the Coliseum, inside the Coliseum. If we manage to convince them to let me and Julius fight on the arena, that would be fantastic.
Very slowly, but we will go.
With like wooden swords or something.
Hopefully not to death.
Not to death.
I will whoop his ass.
I can fart that shit.
I will open a can of whoop ass, as they say.
Yeah. So okay, let's finish it, because that's been going for 41 minutes.
We're doing well. Yeah, that's important though. I mean.
So it was an eventful few days.
It was an eventful 24 hours, man.
Yeah. So essentially we finished all of that, the bike's gonna get fixed, we're fine, and we are now in the middle of home and going to go and enjoy a nice dinner in a restaurant.